Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria, and this is Talk and Crime. Hello, hello, hello. If you are returning and already hit that subscribe button to join the family, and hello to all the new people. Hit the subscribe button, join the family. Let's get started with today's reaction video.
Time on how I almost got trafficked. Before I start off the video, I'm going to give a trigger warning. This does talk about topics of SA and trafficking, so if that's something that triggers you, please do not watch the video because I don't want to trigger anybody. So I made a video a few months back that I never really went and elaborated on, so I wanted to do that now even though it might be a bit late. It did end up going kind of viral, so I wanted to share with you guys in a safe space, so please no judgments, and if you have nothing nice to say, please just don't comment on the video. It is a little bit risky for me to be sharing some of this video with you guys just because I'm currently in an open investigation with this case and I'm waiting on the response on if it's getting taken to court and I have to testify or what it's going to be looking like. So everything happened back in 2020 and now it's 2025. Yes, taken this long to report it. I reported it December 31st of 2024, the day before New Year's.
Let's be clear, young ladies. If you're going to report stuff like this, please report it ASAP. It's easy said than done, true enough, because there's so many factors into it. Like you're scared or you just don't know if people will believe you, or if you tell it, the hate and stuff that comes with it is so much, but it helps out if you do it as soon as possible.
It took me this long to report it, which was very difficult just because of the trauma that I had and the fear of all types of stuff. So, I mean, if you guys have been through something similar, then I'm sure you know how the anxiety is, and most people don't actually report, and it's really sad on why we feel like we have to be quiet about things. So my best friend Brian lived with me at the time, and we both went to the Bristol Dental Group because we needed a dentist to go to, and we looked up dentists near me, and that's what came up. It was the closest one, so we went to that one, and everything was fine. My mom dropped us off, we had our appointments, everything was all good. And then we came outside to wait for my mom, and there was an old man, and I'm not going to give out names just for the purpose of safety, but there was like an old man, and he walked to the back of the building, and this man that he handed a case of beer to on the job looked like the manager. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's who it was. And he handed him a case of beer, and they both whispered in each other's ear and looked at me. Brian, he was like, "Oh, I forgot my paperwork," so he went back in to grab his papers off the chair that he left. And then this old man comes walking towards me, and I believe I had a COVID mask on at the time, and then he comes up to me and he's like, "Wow, you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen." And Brian comes back out, and this man's like, "Yeah, I can take you guys home. Do you guys need a ride?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay. My mom's going to pick us up." And he's like, "Are you sure? I work here." And he points over to his car. He's like, "Look, that's the car." And it was an orange and yellow car that had a big smile on it and said Bristol Dental Group. So at this point, I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's legit. Good. My mom's not going to have to pick us up." So I called my mom. She's like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can take the ride as long as, you feel safe and everything." She's like, "I'm just getting out of the shower anyway, so I'm going to be a little bit." So perfect. It all worked out. So on the way home, this old man is asking us a bunch of invasive questions about like our life and just our living situation and stuff like that. And I didn't really do a lot of the talking. It was mainly Brian because I'm super uncomfortable around men just because of my trauma. So I didn't do a lot of talking, but Brian had opened up about a lot of stuff, which we didn't know. We didn't really see the red flags, but this old man's like, "I'm a millionaire. I want to help you guys." He handed us $20, and I was like, "No, it's okay. I don't need it." He was like, "I'm a millionaire. I want to help you guys. It's hard times right now because it was during COVID." And he's like, "You guys are young. I just want to be like a friend to you guys." So we thought nothing of it. We're just young and innocent at the time. I was 19. I'm now 23. And then we exchanged phone numbers for upcoming dental appointments, as I thought that was going to be, the transportation. I thought that was a good thing. He pretty much immediately starts like texting me and stuff, and he wants to be generous, and I thought it was generous. Obviously it wasn't, but at the time I thought, oh, he's just like a nice old man that just like wants to help people. And so he started like coming to the house and like bringing Brian and I breakfast and lunch from like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, asking us what we wanted, things like that, because at the time we were poor. We literally didn't have food in the house, and my mom and I never got along. Like there's a lot of trauma between my mom and I, and this man knew that, okay? And we didn't even know him long. Like I said, Brian did most of the talking. And Again, this man would bring us like food, then it started to be like food and money, like envelopes full of money. He had also asked us if we wanted to go down to his apartment in Philadelphia to clean for money, like as like a job. And, we both said yes because it was fine. Like, we're going to go together. Everything's going to be fine. The next time that he came, Brian was like just waking up. It was so early in the morning. He was like just waking up, and this guy wanted to bring food. And he ended up showing up, and I was like, Brian, he's here. You ready? And he's like, just go get it. So, okay, thought nothing of it. Went outside to go get the food. And then I get in the car because he's like, I want to talk to you. So I said, okay. So I got in the car, and then he said, actually, I kind of want just you to come clean my apartment. And I'm like, oh, I thought Brian was going to come. He was like, no, I thought it would be better off just you because Brian already has a job and you need money. And obviously I did not go, just so you guys are aware, I did not go. That was like a red flag immediately. And then he started like sending gifts to my house. Okay, so this is what I talk about when I say the dark backside of my bedroom, my luxury TikTok bedroom, the bedroom that got so many views on TikTok, one of my most highest viewed videos being 3 million views from my bedroom. Unfortunately, all the stuff that was like in my room that was viral, my Impressions vanity mirror, my chandelier, my bed, all that stuff was from him. I almost said his name there. So I believe this was a way of bribery, trying to get me to do things, because he started like telling me, like texting me, and I would like screen share the texts if I could, but I don't know if I can right now since this is still like an open case. But if after like I'm allowed to do this, I will share receipts with you guys. But for now, yeah, he started like texting me and stuff, and he was like, because I'm like giving you guys money. Oh my gosh, my light just died. No. Okay, sorry about this angle, but this light is literally going to take way too long to go ahead and charge, so I'm just going to finish it from this angle. So he was like texting me and stuff and basically saying like, oh, since like I'm giving you guys money and stuff, don't you think that I should get like favors? And I'm like what kind? What? I have this plugged in. I'm so sorry about this dilemma. Okay, back to what I was saying. So, then he's asking me for photos, and I'm like, pictures of what? And he's like, just anything. And I'm like, well, what do you want pictures of? He's like, just you. And mind you, I have never had in my life, okay? I know I'm 23 and that's like hard to believe, but I haven't. I literally have not. Just because of my trauma. I am a trauma victim of SA previously, so that's something that I'm just not, and I think I'm asexual. So this man's literally telling me to send him photos and stuff, and then he's like, if you don't, then I'm not going to help you anymore. And what that meant was, for me, it was like, oh my gosh, me and my mom don't get along. But when he started giving envelopes of money to us, I was able to bring food into the home. I was able to get my mom food. And that's all that mattered to me, that my mom had food, my family had food, and everybody was happy, because my mom and I don't get along, and that was something that this man knew and took advantage of. So I literally didn't want to, but I felt like I had to, and I sent some pictures. This man also was saying things to me like, because he was going to LA soon, he was like, oh, I can take you to LA and I can make you a star out there, because like he asked me like what I like to do in my free time, and it was 2020. I was going viral on TikTok and I was loving it, and so I told him, I love TikTok. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, he knew I loved TikTok and stuff, so he wanted to take me to LA to make me a star. Big giant red flag. He also made me put his like credit card on my Amazon, and he was like, just buy stuff for yourself. And I'm like, I don't need anything. He's like, no, here. And it's like, Then he was also telling me like he was gonna get me a car and just like all this stuff. He also got me this Versace robe. And when I got in a car with him another time, he's like, I want you to go to a hotel with me. I want you to bring the Versace robe. Then he started asking me super inappropriate questions. Have I ever had before? Have I ever seen a before? And have I ever watched before? I answered no to all of those things, and those questions clearly made me extremely uncomfortable. And then he tells me that he wants to, me to have, this thing is now making noise. He wanted me to go to this hotel with him to let him have with me. And, I told him no. He was like, if anybody asks, then I'm your uncle, which is so creepy. I never went to this hotel with him, by the way. But when I was in the car with him, he reached over and gave me a kiss, and then he was like, oh, no, don't worry. This is just like my way of like, I do this to everybody. Like, we're family. And like I said, every time he would come, he would have gifts, money, etc. The one day he even took me out to try to practice driving because he wanted me to like learn because I didn't have family to really teach me. And the very last time that I seen him, I got in the car, he starts talking really inappropriately to me, and then I'm like, I have to go. And I made up this lie that I had to go and go shopping, food shopping with my mom. He literally takes off with me in the car. I didn't have my phone on me. I thought I was being kidnapped. And at this point, we might as well call it kidnapping because he took off when I was trying to get out of the car. Then he grabs a bottle of, puts it on his hand, and while we're driving, literally so quick, grabs and yanks my sweatpants, and I pull back. He grabs and yanks again, and so quick, his whole entire hand and arm. This was for the whole car ride. We ended up in an old Walmart abandoned parking lot where he SA'd me, forced my head down on him, and I was like pushing up and he was yanking it back down. And I had blood all down my legs, and that's what happened. I never saw him again, but I just reported it recently.
So many red flags. So many red flags. I can't really judge this story because, again, this is her experience, her story. But I, like, I think by her and her mother not being close, her mother never caught the signs to be like, look, this is not okay. I'm just lost for words. Like, it was so many signs in the beginning. It was also signs for her not to be alone with this man. It was also signs when he was buying food. And then her boyfriend was telling all their business quickly in the beginning. Like, at first I was listening to her like this was a whole setup. Because what stranger just gonna walk up to two people asking them do they want to ride home? I'm sorry, but I'm so lost for words for this story. All I know is it was red flags from the beginning. It was weird from the beginning. And I'm so sorry that she had this experience, but I just wish that it didn't happen. Like, I wish she would have reported ahead of time. It was no telling if that man gave her the wrong name. It seems like he was looking to be her sugar daddy, and by her being the age she was and stuff, she was only looking at it as this man being nice, even though in the mix of him so called being nice, like it was tons of giving like predator, like rapist, like crazy weird man vibes. And unfortunately, she ignored the signs. Her mother, her boyfriend, and her. People also in the comments had questions on like, how did you escape? Like, how was you able to get out the car? Like, all these different questions that now myself like is curious. Like, how did you escape? How did you get out the car? Like, have he done this to people before? Like, is so many questions in this story, but again, this is her experience and she can't really talk much about it, so it's hard to gather more information. But what I do know is, parents, teach your kids the sign of a red flag, and also do your best as a parent so your children won't have to think that they have to accept weird gifts or accept money from strangers just to help support the household, just to help feed them. Just that, matter of fact, she didn't even say we needed food to feed me. She was more concerned on her mother, even though her and her mother have a strange relationship with each other, right? So at the end of the day, she might have seen all the signs, understood the signs, but ignored it because the gifts he was giving, and one of those gifts was money to help her family situation, her and her boyfriend situation, put food in the house for her mother, etc. I'm just sorry that she felt the need that she should have been providing all this stuff on her own. She also stated that her boyfriend, well, she stated that the man said that he wanted her to come and clean his house instead of the boyfriend because the boyfriend had a job. So at the end of the day, Like, why was it no food? Why was this young lady put in a situation that she was just accepting these money and gifts? And it was causing her to kind of overlook the red flags, even though at some point in time she started noticing it. But this is definitely a no-no. Parents, please do better. Please teach your children the signs of a red flag or somebody that's not right. You guys drop down in the comments because I'm kind of lost with this one. Like, it's so much stuff like I have questions on. But you guys, like, comment, join the family by subscribing to this channel. You guys, I hope you have a lovely day. Peace.